there's an increase in violence against Native American men and women on tribal land.
Now, the U.S. Department of the Interior is working with tribal leaders to try and find solutions, especially when it comes to missing Indigenous people. Reporter Taniyah Williamson has more on what actions will be put into place.
A Department of Justice study shows that 4 out of 5 Native American men and women have experienced some kind of violence in their lifetime. Arizona is home to 22 indigenous tribes. Yesterday, local tribal leaders and those from across the country met in the Gila River Indian Community to address this public safety issue. Arizona has the 3rd highest counts of missing and murdered indigenous women and girls, according to the Urban Indian Health Institute. This issue in particular led many to marches and advocating for change. It was part of the discussion yesterday among tribal leaders.
These issues discussed today threaten the very safety and security of all of our tribal members. Domestic violence, missing and murdered Native Americans, and unsolved cold cases.
Last month, Governor Doug Ducey signed House Bill 2570, which aims to gather more data on murdered Indigenous women. Governor Stephen Lewis mentioned sharing data as a solution to problems faced in Indian country.
Common themes emerge, nonetheless, around allowing tribes to determine where resources are needed in their communities and to the need for better sharing of information and data.
Sharing that information is only part of the issue. There also needs to be better communication to the non-Native community.
There are a number of women in this community who have led by example, and very strong women. And Michelle Demert is one of those advocates that I spoke about earlier in the sessions.
Michelle Demert traveled from Alaska to voice her concerns.
40% of our Native communities have no law enforcement in Alaska.
According to Demert, that lack of resources leaves many people without help.
We have no 911, so when we call for, in response to something that's happened in our communities, who appears? Often it's a tribal leader, and we have to wait hours, sometimes days, for a meaningful law enforcement response.
Gila River Indian Community Governor Stephen Lewis says, while there's been progress, there's still a long way to go.
We all agreed that more can and more must be done at all levels to break down those silos, to ensure we have comprehensive programs and policies to attack these issues.
Governor Lewis said that he'll be reaching out to the president of the Salt River Indian Community to start a dialogue on how tribal enforcement agencies can better share information to close those gaps. In the Broadcast Center, Taniyah Williamson, Cronkite News.